Hi, my name's Aisha Madawi and I'm a current AS Media student. This year in media, we have been given the task to create a 5-minute local news radio broadcast, and we have to document our progress into our blog. Now this is my blog. We go into my research tasks. Research tasks are important because I need to know what exactly counts as a good local news radio show and the kind of things I need to include. So one of the first things I did was use a search engine to find a website called publicengagement.com, which provided me with advice on what to include in a news broadcast. Another course we did was Future Learn with the University of Strathclyde. This was a great course because it gave me the basics of journalism, so stuff like the 5 Ws and what makes a good news story. I also learned about hard and soft news and finding good news stories. This is really useful for me because it can help when it comes to actually picking out my news items and finding out what to include in my news items. Another thing I did was a journalism workshop where I went to the Odeon in Covent Garden, and the talk was given by Charles Gunn, which is this guy over here. So one of the main things I had to do was understanding genre. This is really, really crucial because you need to know what specific features to include in your show. So I decided that I was going to record on Audacity 2 shows, BBC Radio Cambridgeshire and BBC Radio Derby. From this, I was able to pick out the specific codes of conventions, as you can see here, that I could include in my show. The reason I decided to do 2 shows was to show that it was actually a coded convention. Next was content analysis. So these are news values that I have to know what makes a good story and what you should include and what should not be included. So then I had to analyze one of the shows for their content. This was really important because it was allowing me to pick apart stories and see what type of news values were taken into account when these stories were broadcasted. Audiences is something I have to understand. So not only did we look at demographics, but I looked at niche audiences and mass audiences. I need to know a lot about my specific audience when making my show because I need to ensure that it's interesting and relatable to them. Regarding audiences, I had to look at different types of theories. So I looked at hypodermic needle theories and the cultivation theory. Stuart Hall is a really important person when it comes to audiences and media because he provides some of these theories and they are really useful because they help me to understand the way people receive news.